Hello, Potato, and welcome to part 4 of Just Add Water Week 2 Out-of-Date Emergency Food Edition, where we're checking out all the options in this Mountain House freeze-dried premium meal assortment box that had a Best By date of June 2017. So far this week, we have tried out the beef stroganoff, the chicken teriyaki, and the beef stew, all of which, despite being 2.5 years out of date, were perfectly fine. And honestly, so far, I like the beef stew the best. But there's one contender left. One chance Mountain House has to beat itself. And that's with today's option, lasagna with meat sauce. Yeah, I pulled it out of the box already because it was literally the only thing it could possibly be, as it's the last option that we haven't tried. So freeze-dried lasagna with meat sauce. Entree serves 2 ingredients, things like tomatoes, macaroni product. Not pasta, just macaroni product. Cheese blend, it's got the mozzarella in there. Nothing horrible. Not the shortest ingredient list on the in the box, but not awful. It is the lowest in sodium though. This one only has 26% of your daily sodium, making it a little bit better than anything else. Yesterday, of course, had the worst sodium. I think like 40%. It's on the box. I could look, but I'm lazy. So let's crack it open and take a look at it and get that little oxygen absorber packet out of there. And of course, got to pull from both ends because it can't just come across evenly. Oh, look, it's at the top this time. That's nice. That's convenient. You can get it out the way. Very powdery. So I'm not going to eat the freeze-dried pasta because we know what freeze-dried pasta tastes like. But here's a meat chunk. We'll try that. The beef yesterday was a little tough. The chicken the day before was not. Let's see how this is. Smells lasagna-y, I guess? Smells like tomatoes and cheese. Yeah, it kind of tastes like lasagna. Not as tough as the beef from the stew, but I'm not going to say not as quite as pleasant as the chicken from the chicken teriyaki. But yeah, not awful. I would not eat that as a snack, and nor would I suggest you do the same. Instead, what I suggest you do is what I'm going to do, which is go get myself 2 cups of boiling water, because it's the same, right? Yep, 2 cups boiling water, 2 pouch. So I'll be right back with some boiling water. You'll barely even know I was gone. And here is our just off the boil water again. So let's add it to our cheesy, tomatoey, freeze-dried stuff. And look at that, I managed to do all 4 of these without making a humongous mess. And I got some water in it. There's some big chunks of tomato in there too. Look, you can see like bubbling as it soaks the water up. Yeah, I know it says to stir it first, but I'm not going to because I don't want to get the fork all dirty until we actually have the food ready. All right, so it is in there. It's cooking. Start the timer. Set our place. Get rid of this. And we will have another little jump, and it will be 8 minutes and 45 seconds in the future, and this should be about ready. All right, we're almost done again. It's almost been 8 minutes. We have like 5 seconds left, and then you will hear my phone go. Wasn't that exciting? All right, so to crack this open and see what time and heat and water have done to it. Well, gotta stir it up because there's a lot of water still floating around in there. Make sure you get everything out of the corners. Don't jab so hard that I ram the fork through the plastic or the foil. I guess it's a foil technically. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't be as airtight. And that's very gloopy. That's kind of more what I expected the stew to be yesterday. All right, the big chunks of tomato aren't doing much for me here. Is that about half? Maybe a little bit more. Because it's 2 servings. All right. Put the rest of it back closed. Keep it hot. And that's a lot thinner than I thought. I almost feel like I should have used a spoon again today. But it looks like maybe canned lasagna. I mean, you wouldn't make it this way yourself. But it looks like kind of a deconstructed lasagna. Alright. Doesn't look offensive. It doesn't smell bad from here. Let's smell it up close. Smells like lasagna. Let's try it. Tastes quite a bit like Stouffer's frozen lasagna. Interestingly, the cheese is actually sticking to the fork the way it does when you have like real cheese and things. So that's interesting. I mean, it said mozzarella on the ingredients, so I'm sure it is technically real cheese. But yeah, it's not bad. Not as good as the beef stew, I'm going to say. Pretty good, but not as good as the beef stew. Well, the beef stew really surprised me. But I would say lasagna with meat sauce is in second place. It's very tomatoey, very cheesy. It tastes like, it doesn't taste like homemade by any means, unless I guess you make it exactly the way they do. But it does taste like, say, like a frozen Stouffer's lasagna, which, I don't mind a frozen Stouffer's lasagna. So let's rate these. We have 4 of them. Let's rate them. First place is that beef stew. Pretty close second is lasagna with meat sauce. Third, I'm going to go with the beef stroganoff, just because it does taste the most like beef stroganoff. It might rate even a little bit higher if it didn't have big chunks of mushroom in it. And last place, just because something has to come in last, is going to be that chicken teriyaki. Not because necessarily there's anything wrong with it, as much as it just disappointed me. If it didn't have those chunks of red peppers, it certainly would have beat the beef stroganoff. It might even have beaten the lasagna. The fact the flavor kind of changed for me as I was eating it means it probably wouldn't have been number 1. The flavor at the beginning was really good. The flavor at the end, not so much. And I haven't had that issue with the other two. The stroganoff and the beef stew tasted the same at the end as it tasted at the beginning. I don't know if there's something else that I did when I had the chicken teriyaki that caused my taste buds to alter, but they did. Or it did. It could just have been the food. Maybe as it started to cool down, something changed in it. But yeah, this isn't bad. Again, not something I would get to add just to, have on a weeknight. Although certainly it's quick enough. But, in the post-apocalypse, if you had access to hot water, this would be a perfectly lovely thing to eat while you listen to the sounds of the world falling apart around you. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up with our box of Mountain House freeze-dried premium meal assortments. We've eaten all 4 of them. And even though they're all 2.5 years out of date, and therefore presumably about 8 or 9 years old to begin with, they're not bad. I can imagine these would probably be even a little bit better if they were in date. So I hope you found this experience as interesting as I have. It's my first time trying Mountain House food, first of all. So not under the best of conditions, eating it all out of date. But it was all passable. It was all acceptable. I would eat any of these if I were in a situation where they were the option. So I do thank you for joining me on this journey through out-of-date emergency food. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. Or at least subscribe if you didn't enjoy it. You don't have to like it. But, if you subscribed, that would be nice. You'd do me a solid. And I will see you in the next video.